You know our man's is swift with the words cause his pen fast moving so slick. It's as if he's Mac grooving. We got the man, Matt Cuban. Let's get it.
To stay. 1. To spend time in a place in a situation with a person or a group. In 2012, I toured for 35 days through the Midwest and East Coast with a musical genius. Secretly, I wanted a good excuse to get drunk and hear him play every night. It became an internship in the art of the hustle, with my survival dependent on the performance I would give. 2. Remain in a specified state or position during the day. If workshops or driving did not take precedent, I'd sleep, sometime for the entire day. Something about access to free Wi-Fi, free time, and a room with a locked door allowed me to remain in a state of unconsciousness for hours. 3. To hold out or endure, as in a contest or task, during the long nights. In between the high of a great show and the 600 miles until the next, my mind would drift, my headlights becoming blurred images dancing through the rear view, the road melting into a dark tunnel, a private journey, a test, with loneliness and death resting on my eyelids, snoring louder with every slow blink. 4. To keep up with, as with a competitor. I would open up our sets. We did rock, paper, scissors in our first show, and lucky me, it stuck for all 40 shows. But I loved it. My tour mate told me a lot of performers would have a hard time keeping up with him. We were partners, but feeding from the same trough. Healthy competition. Still, every night was a feast. 5, a poker term. To continue in a hand by matching a bet or raise. Once, while touring in Cleveland, I let a poet friend take my car to our next show in D.C. while I stayed in pursuit of booty. My tour mate at the time begged for me to reconsider, told me he was definitely not coming back and I needed to find my own way to the next gig. I made a choice to stay. Then, and only moments after, I bumped into a painting on Booty's wall. It fell shattered on the floor, irreparable. Joking, I said, I hope that wasn't that important. Her eyes watered, then burst to flames. That was my grandmother's. She gave that to me before she died last month. 6, to stop or halt. Your inner voice often has really good ideas. You only have to be smart enough to listen. All signs laid themselves at my feet and laughed through the weekend. 7, to pause or wait for a moment, proceeding or continuing to linger or tarry. Nashville, Tennessee, B.B. King's Blues Bar, packed house. All the products showed and a line waiting for my laptop to burn CDs. Only thing could make this night better. Weed. After the show, I began the search. The most disheveled person could most likely point me in the right direction, and upon finding him, I asked, "Hey, bro, you know where a person might be able to find some weed?" Him, "I ain't got no weed. All I got is this crack." Me, "Well, crack really isn't what I was looking for per se." Him, "Hey, man, crack ain't no worse than weed." Me, "Bro, it's fucking crack." Him, "Hold up. Watch my back while I hit this shit." He hits this shit, I watch his back. Him, "Hey man, do you want to smoke this crack?" And for a moment, I thought, no one's ever actually offered me crack. Do I really want to smoke this? And the answer is no. And 8, archaic, to cease and desist. Shotgun, a poem I had recently found strength in. Something about screaming my suicide note to strangers across the country. Something about finding strength in revealing my weakest moment every night. I closed my set with Shotgun. During the set, my audience and I would laugh and forget the world for a moment, but at some point, I needed to tell someone to stay, even if that person was me. Giving 100% to an empty bar to prove to the world I'm still alive in spite. And the music would bring me back every night, no matter how much I poured myself out. My partner played his set and restarted my chest for 20 minutes. I got to be a rock star, or at least a shitty backup singer on all his songs, and with the alcohol dancing in my bones and the depression rattling all my hinges, every show empty or sold out felt like we were the coolest guys in the room. And I tried telling myself, it's easy to leave, to grab a handful of your last and stop your story in a grave. It would have been too easy to let my brother's shotgun be the last thing to kiss my cheek, but to stay is to continue. Endless tokens in a game impossible to beat from a hole still. I'm not sure if it's fear that keeps me, with my own shadows blocking all the exits, all the reasons to stay. staring back at me in every reflection.
Let's go. Like a fucking professional.
Hell yeah.
Matt Cuban. God damn, bro.
Fun.
That
to have you,
performance.
bro. Hell yeah.
That's fun.
Who, you just took me like to 5 different places.
It's the headphones.
Hey, we just went
All right,
we
for
just
sure.
went all kinds of places.